I have been itching for fall fashion and I need someone to talk through this with, and if you like it too, how are we feeling about these pieces, and maybe some inspo as well. Let's go. We all know that fall means suede and these darker tones naturally come up, and I have been eyeing suede bags. I just personally love real leather, especially when you buy an item new and you can smell the leather and like the suede, especially if it's good quality. Bags are a really great way to introduce these warmer tones and sort of more cozier elements into fashion without it being winter yet. And I was looking at this bag from Tory Burch. Let me talk you through why I specifically love this bag. So this is like a hobo bag. It kind of reminded me initially of my Madewell bag. I'll show you guys right now. This is one of my favorite bags. This I got from Madewell. It is real leather and very similar, as you can see, to the one from Tory Burch. And specifically, I love the studs here. I think studs were having a really big wave last year, and I would say it's pretty timeless because it's not too like extravagant. It's simply just little dots of metal, and I get a lot of compliments on it because it acts as an accessory in a sense. It catches your attention but in a somewhat subtle way. What to say, when I saw this bag from Tory Burch, I loved it, guys. Like, number one, the size is a bit smaller, I believe, kind of reminiscent of these Saint Laurent hobo bags, but the fact that the logo is very loud, I don't know how practical that be, especially because that's the clasp. But this one from Tory Burch, the sides here, the gold buttons are very subtle, similar to this Madewell one that I have, but it's not as loud. I would say it's a little bit more subdued, but I just love that touch of the little gold button, and you can adjust the size. And another thing that I love that I don't think they necessarily publicize, on this back side of this bag, there are two little metal sort of grommets, little pins. I just absolutely love that so much. If you know me and you follow me on any other social platform, you'll know that I absolutely love the little things, the tiny little details, especially in a bag like this with the minimal logos. Those two tiny metal studs elevate the piece so much because you can easily find a bag like this without any logos, very more minimal, and has a similar silhouette. But the fact that this bag specifically has those two little metal pieces, I just love it. It has that subtle elegance. It reminds me of RSVP. This is a bag brand that I was actually looking into when I was in Paris, and it is also a mid-luxury brand that specializes in bags. I really like their parachute bag. I don't believe they have suede yet, but one thing that really drew me to this brand is the tiny little metal grommet or whatever that they have on the pocket or side here. Such a small detail and enhances the piece. And after having this in mind and seeing the Tory Burch one, I was like absolutely sold because it has the two buttons. I think I'm a little crazy, the fact that I'm like obsessing over these two little metal pieces, but I swear it makes a difference. At least in my eyes, I think it adds a design feature that otherwise it's harder to find. I'm like slowly realizing the hype behind these mid-tier luxury brands. I know Coach has been getting a lot of publicity because of their marketing and their new bags, and the Brooklyn bag, which is another sort of hobo style bag. I think that is very cute as well. I feel as the Coach has a bit more of a youthful vibe, very similar to Tory Burch in a sense, but to me personally, Tory Burch seems a little bit more elevated. I know also other companies like Polen, they are known for, you know, being mid-tier and very accessible. I don't really love their designs specifically. Like, I know they use a lot of string or like a tie as the design of their bags, but I'm not the biggest fan of. And speaking of Madewell, the bag that I have, I also have this suede bag. Let me just show you. So this is another bag also from Madewell. I guess I'm a Madewell stan, I didn't realize, and I love studs apparently, but I really wanted this when I saw this last year, and this sort of stud trend, I think we saw this with Kate. As you can see, the sort of pattern here within Madewell, and so I can attest in my personal experience, Madewell is really trend forward and they use higher quality. I was looking back at Madewell and I saw this bag. I specifically love this color. It's this baby blue wristlet. Guys, how cute is this? Is this like a little dumpling? Like, what is this? It's too cute. And I love that they paired it with the silver little button here, this closure. It just adds that brightness and breaks up this more muted tone. Whoever is like the buyer, the designer for Madewell handbags, they're doing a great job. I also saw another one where they use calf hair, and we all know that this sort of animal texture and hair fur, I don't know, is getting more trendy with the warmer months, and especially last year we saw a lot I think this is very cute as well. I think ideally, I don't know if I love the color of this. I think I'd have to see this one in person. But I think, again, if you want to play into that animal print trend, this is a really great way to do that. Oh, also, guys, speaking of these warmer tones, suede obviously, and shearling, I saw this bag and I thought it was so cute. I think this really was the catalyst for me wanting and looking into these fall winter bags and accessories. I saw this Longchamp bag that's made out of the shearling texture and I thought this was the cutest thing ever. Obviously, Longchamp is a classic within fashion, and I would say, you know, they're not super high up, they're not in the thousands in price, so it's relatively more accessible, and especially it being made from real shearling, I think it's so cute, and it will act as your subtle statement, this sort of point concept we've talked about if you follow me on TikTok, while keeping your outfit relatively more minimal. It's in this furry texture, it's just too cute. I think it'd be really nice, especially with the cooler months. With that, I also saw a similar one last year from Poland. I was really on the cusp of buying this one. Again, it's similarly made with the shearling, and it has like a leather strap that's longer, which I guess is different from the Longchamp one. But this one, I don't know, I didn't pull the trigger on it, and I personally think it looks a little bit elementary. Like it has a little bit more of a youthful vibe than the Longchamp one, which looks somewhat more elevated. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, this one is a caveat because it's not mid-range, but the new Chanel suede hobo bag, I might go crazy because why is that like the most beautiful bag I've ever seen? I've seen it on like runway shows and I didn't like think too much about it, and then I saw someone do like a what's in my bag and they used that bag, and I just thought it might be the cutest bag ever, because why does it look so beautiful? Like the suede looks so nice, and the contrast between the brown and the black leather, it's just crazy. But it's like, I don't know, guys, it's just so beautiful, and something about it just has an elevation despite it being more slouchy. It has this elegance, and I guess that's what you would hope for the price that you're paying at Chanel. I think that's one of the best new sort of bags I've seen within the last few seasons. But yeah, I think that's why also I've been really wanting to go into this suede. Finding good suede is very difficult. Other companies that I feel do this relatively well is Free People, and especially with this boho sort of style coming full force this season, especially fall. Free People is just the epitome of that, and they actually have a lot of good items that people don't really talk about. I think they have a lot of hidden gems. I was eyeing this bag. Actually, this is very cheap for it being real suede, and I really love the little stud details. I think it's very minimal and very versatile. I'm looking at it, I actually really like it. It's I really like this like butter yellow and this brown tone, especially with the studs. I think that adds a little bit of lightness to the soft texture. I think that's a really good balance to keep in mind, especially with suede and shearling and these more cozier fabrics. It's nice to add a balance there, whether you add that with the color or adding shine through accessories and silver studs like that will really help add that balance there. And also, like, we all know like suede and like fringe is crazy because I didn't think I'd be a fringe girl, but guys, me like loving suede right now, I'm like looking at the fringe of some bags and I'm like, why is that cute? I like more sort of like the cleaner, newer fringe. I know some people like the vintage looking fringe pieces or the vintage bags, especially fringe and suede. I feel like fringe could look messy sometimes, so I like ones that are more clean cut. That is often newer bags. I thought this one from Mango was so different and chic. It has structure, but the fact that it's made out of the leather is not something that we see so often, but because it's made out of leather, it has that polished vibe. Yeah, those are like top on my wish list right now, and I just really want to share it because I need everyone's opinions. Let me know what you guys think on what bags you've been eyeing. I also made like a new Instagram. This is like a caveat, but if you guys want to follow that as well, more inspo pics and stuff like that for you to follow along, and I'll try to link all these as well so you guys can shop it with me. Let's have a shopping problem together, you know? I don't know what's wrong with me right now. I'm like really excited. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys in my next video.